What's up, YouTube? Thanks for coming back to see just what I do today. I hope you're having a better day than I am today. Because today, the truck won't start. But first, let's go down and take care of the flock and do my chores, and then we'll get into the truck. Okay, we are now over here at the quail. Now, their normal water bottle freezes in this type of weather right now. Fix their sandbox. And since I've started putting them over here, they do lay eggs once in a while, which is cool. So we'll collect those for sure, because right now they freeze out here. But anyways, their water bottle freezes right now, so I have a little bowl that I just bring some water out, hot water, so it stays unthawed for them, out, and put that in there. And then the feed thing, this whole part is full, so all you have to do is see if there's any in here. As you can see, there's some in there, so we don't need to shake this part down. So there's the quail. All we gotta do is slide the door open. And let them out. Here they are. Meow. You say I'm starving. Okay, now let's go take care of the chickens and the ducks. Okay, we are now in the chicken run, and the bad thing about these ponds is they always freeze. As you can see, that one's a big block of ice because the whole pond froze, so I just end up flipping it and starting over. But that's why I have two, so one gets too frozen, I can use the other one. But we just take a jug of hot water and just pour it into their pond. Yes, I could get a pond heater and run the cord into the chicken house because the chicken house does have electricity, but it's just easier for me to do it this way. I don't mind. And then we dump the food in the food bowls in there. And then I have to move all this snow because they don't like walking in the snow. So let's go get some food. There she is. There's a Daisy. There's Daisy. What are you doing? You want inside? You want inside? You tired of the snow too? Okay, let's go let you in first. Okay, I've got all the snow moved, as you can tell. And I got their feed in the feed thing. So now the only thing left to do is to let them out. See, everybody's doing good. They're just not real fond of the snow. Neither am I. I'm over it. Time to move on. Okay, there's the chicken chores. So now let's go out front and we'll talk about the truck. Okay, as you see, we're out here by the truck now. I do have the battery charger on it. Well, here's some backstory. Around 10 o'clock last night, my mom and I went to the gas station, and then we went to go to my aunt's house like we always do, because I don't have internet access here at the house to do my YouTube stuff. My aunt lets me use hers. So we're about halfway there in this nasty snowstorm that hit last night, and everything just completely quits. I've got absolutely nothing. So I rolled her as far as I could and then tried to restart her. She wouldn't restart, so I called my dad. Who needs AAA when you've got my dad? So he came down. We tried to give her a jump. She still wouldn't start. So I had to get towed. As you can see, the tow chain is still attached. Had to get towed all the way home. Now at this time, I have no lights. I barely have any brakes. And it's snowing like mad and super slippery. Now this green truck usually tows that blue truck home in the snow. But this time it was the other way around. So now, let's go in and see if she'll start. I doubt it, but we'll try. See, there's the battery charger. I stuck it in here so it wouldn't get snowed on. Disconnect it real quick. And we'll see if this will start. See? Still nothing. Now, the normal lights are on. Those are always on when you put your key in the ignition. So I have an idea what it might be, but the problem with that idea is, excuse me, I've already replaced that. And that would be the fuel pump. So I think the fuel pump might have gone out on it. So right now we are on our way to AutoZone to get the tool that hooks up to here, run the diagnostics, take it back to AutoZone, and have them tell me what it's going to be, what's wrong with it, hopefully. Now, if it comes back that there's nothing wrong with it, then my theory is that it's the fuel pump. Again, this will be the second time. So, we are off to AutoZone. I'm going to disconnect the battery charger completely, close the hood, and let's go to AutoZone. Oh, one of the reasons that makes me think it's the fuel pump is behind the driver's seat in the back, underneath the passenger back seat. When you turn the key, you should hear... Hold on. Close the door. You should hear a click, and I don't hear a darn thing back there. Yeah, I don't hear a click behind me anymore. I hear a click of the alternator, so I know the alternator's fine. The alternator's not that old. I replaced that too. So, as I said before, let's go to AutoZone. Okay, as you can see, we went to AutoZone. And we are back now. As you can see, I don't have the diagnostic tool. Don't ever go to AutoZone. AutoZone is a complete waste of time and full of morons. For some stupid reason, they wouldn't let me borrow the tool anymore. And I borrowed that tool once already. The stupid diagnostic code reader. AutoZone is full of, excuse my language, fucking morons. So don't ever bother going to AutoZone. Go to O'Reilly's or even Napa. So I can't hook the code reader up on it. They wanted to charge me $140 just to borrow the tool for 20 minutes. So right now I am waiting for a phone call from my friend's aunt. Reverse that, my aunt's friend. He has a code reader and he's going to come down and read it for me. When that happens, I'll come back and tell y'all what the problem is. I have an idea on what the problem is, but we'll wait for the code reader. Again, never go to AutoZone. They are worthless. Every time I've been in there, it's just full of morons. Ask them a simple question and you get stupidity. They're supposed to be a car place that's helpful, and all they are is a bunch of morons up there that don't know jack. So, that's my rant about AutoZone. They are worthless. Don't even bother going to AutoZone anymore. So, when I get the code reader and find out what it is, I'll let y'all know. We'll get the part, and we'll see if we can fix it. It may be a day or two. So this may be a part 2 next day video thing. Okay, waiting for the phone call. Get back to you. Okay, it's the following day. My aunt ran down and got the code reader from her friend for me. Thank you, Bob, for letting me borrow it. So here is the code reader. It should tell me what's wrong with the truck, hopefully. All we've got to do is stick the key in the ignition, plug this under the dash, I'll show you in just a minute, hit the power button, and hopefully it will come up with a code that will tell me what's wrong with the truck and I can fix it. So give me just 1 second and I'll show you plugging it in. Okay, as you can hear, I've got the key in the ignition. Now we just need to take this and plug it into that right there. That's it. Now we have to turn the key to on and then hit the button. Now it's assessing the problem, going through protocols, protocodes, whatever the hell you want to call it. Running through all kinds of diagnostics. Push the button so the door thing will stop going off. Okay, it's saying it's unable to establish a link. So we're going to make sure it's plugged in all the way, make sure I turn the key the right direction, hit the green button again, and we'll try again. I'll be back with you when I've got something on the code reader. Thank you. Already figured out the problem. I didn't turn the key far enough. Duh, you do have to turn the key to on. Now let's hit the button again, and let it reestablish a link, and run its protocols. Not sure what that means. Let me look it up in the book, and I'll get back to you. As far as I'm understanding with this code reader thing, that I think it's exactly what I thought it was, because it's saying no TCs or freeze frame data presently stored. And as far as I know, that means no codes are popping up. But there is some flashing things that where some diagnostics haven't ran. So I'm not quite sure. But I do know there is one other way to test and see if your fuel pump is out. Now, this does take 2 people. Now you want to take the lid off your fuel inlet, and you want the other person to hop in the vehicle, make sure the radio's off, doors closed, all that happy stuff. And you want that other person to turn the key to on. Do not start the vehicle. Just turn the key to on. And what you want to do is stick your ear as close as possible to the inlet and listen for a noise. There'll be either a buzzing or a weird hum or a click. There'll be some sort of noise. Now, if there is no noise at all, that means your fuel pump is out. That is just one other way to check and see if your fuel pump is out. So, that's what I think it is. I'm waiting on my dad to come out and see if he can figure out the code reader thing. And we'll go from there. I think it's the fuel pump though. Okay. Back in a minute. Okay, so we ran to O'Reilly's and got a new fuel pump. That's what that is right there. Having to use a flashlight because the sun's going down and you have to disconnect the battery to be able to do this. The noise you hear right now is the air compressor. My dad's checking tires on the car. So right now, I've got the main line taken off, the electrical part taken off. I'm attempting to take off all these little screws that are right here, and then I have to take off this tubing right here, and then we'll pull that out and we'll take it into the garage, show you putting in the new pump, and then we just do everything I just did in reverse and cross our fingers. Hopefully she'll start. If she doesn't, then it's a fuse relay or a fuse or timing belt. So hopefully this is the problem. So I'm going to finish taking this apart, and I'll show you the next step when I get it taken apart. Okay, as you can see, I've got it out. This is the whole fuel unit. This is the fuel pump that I'm replacing. This is just a filter. This is the float that tells it how much gas is in there. So now I have to disconnect the electrical here, disconnect this pipe, release it from the housing, pull off this filter, put this filter on the new one, put everything back in with the gasket and everything else, and then put everything back together, put it all back in, and cross our fingers that this frickin' works. Okay, there's the tank. But I got it all back together, so now I just need to put it back in place, do everything in reverse, and cross our fingers that the truck starts. So I will get back to you when I'm done putting it back in place, because it's a lot of finagling to get it back in the hole without busting parts. Okay, I got everything put back in place. So now it's time to reconnect the battery, turn the key, and hope, cross your fingers, whatever the hell you want to call it, that she starts. Well, as you can see, it's still not turning over. I don't know what the heck the problem is now. So I'm going to go online and see if I can figure out which fuse goes to the fuel pump, because it still doesn't sound like it's turning on. So I just replaced the fuel pump for nothing. She still won't turn over. This is day number 2, going into day number 3. It's dark. It's cold. I'm going to have to go over to my aunt's house to do some research and try and figure out why the heck she won't start now. It's either a fuse because we don't hear the pump going. So, yeah, I think it's a fuse. So, I'll start this up again tomorrow. What a frustrating day.
Okay, fuse is good. None of it good. Tuesday. Back his truck. Back his truck up to the return day. Return out. Gets out and he's struggling to get a mirror out of the back and take it in. The guy was walking through the parking lot, saw that, jumped in his truck, took off. Well, according to the weather, it's supposed to be raining. So go ahead and crank. Yep. Okay, turn the key on. That works just fine. Okay, that's working.